Escucho yo la Community Radio, ALICOR, launching national information, dissemination. From the National Information Dissemination Center, good day and welcome to Elections Today. Elections Today is a 30-minute package intended to inform you on the activities of the 2023 national elections in Liberia. It's brought to you by the Association of Liberia Community Radio, ALICOR, and I'm your presenter, Edward Kollie. Coming up in this edition, we will go to the headquarters of the National Elections Commission as the chairperson, David Brown Lasana, provides updates on the electoral process. Elections Coordinating Committee, ECC, gave its observation on Phase 2 of the biometric voters registration process. Elections magistrates received rate of elections, setting the stage for the conduct of the 2023 elections. These plus a lot more coming up in this edition of Elections Today. Stay tuned. We will be back right after our theme song. Dissemination lab, dissemination lab, user foundation, launching national information, dissemination. Recently, Liberia completed its first ever biometric voter registration BVR exercise. The completion of the process followed the participation of citizens in Phase 2 counties, including Lofa, Bong, Nimba, Grand Jide, Grand Crew, River G, Maryland, Sino, and Riverside County. David Brown Lasana is the chairperson of the National Elections Commission. Madam Lasana has been providing updates on the process, including the number of people who turn out for the BVR process.
Ladies and gentlemen, after the registration exercise in Phase 1 and 2, the NEC commenced the deduplication process through the biometric central management system of the 2,498,904 registered. A total number of 2,471,183 are reported as active registrants. 27,192 registrants were flagged as duplicates across the 15 counties. Below are the sex disaggregated figures per county. Bombay County, 63,111. Bong County, 234,765. Bapulu County, 50,609. Grand Bassa County, 158,449. Grand Kipman County, 86,512. Grand Jide County, 63,933. Grand Crew County, 42,288. Lufa County, 177,055. Margibi County, 185,308. Maryland County, 67,589. Monserrado County, 901. 149. Nimba County, 307,126. River G County, 37,795. River Cess, 39,928. Sino County, 55,566. Grand total, 2,471,183, constituting 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, these figures are fully disaggregated for electoral district and voter registration center. The details will be shared with stakeholders at the end of the briefing and will also be posted on the next website and at the 2080 centers across the country during the exhibition period. Persons with disability constitute 12,399 persons with disabilities registered during the voter registration period across the 15 counties of Liberia.
Well, it seems that the process was not entirely free of heritage. As Madam Brown Lasana highlighted, there were reported registration of underage children. Video footage emerged on the internet and other forms of social media, purportedly showing children as young as 12 years old holding voters' cards in Foya-Lofa County. So, did the NEC actually register underage children? Here is Madam Brown Lasana with an answer.
Oh, the commission is very concerned, as you. I can tell you that an investigation is ongoing. But now there are suspected underage who were registered in our process. 529 registrants were flagged as suspected underage across the 15 counties. These records are being investigated through the adjudication process. All ineligible registrants will be removed, and where warranted, their names will be referred to the Ministry of Justice for prosecution. With respect to the ongoing investigation of the 529 suspected underage registrants, the Commission remains mindful in addressing the matter, since registrants in this category may be minors and therefore have a heightened degree of privacy under the law. After our investigation, we will take the appropriate action. But also, it comes back to you and to the rest of Liberians to use the exhibition process to raise your concerns there and to prove, in fact, your allegations of those who probably you are saying are underage. And when that proof comes, then we shall process it. We give people due process. But we also say that those suspected to be underage, we have their information, we have their mobile numbers, we will have CVE in the field as well as our magisterial areas to provide this information to them, which will also be part of the exhibition.
Apart from the reported registration of underage children, there were reports of other violations, including the trucking of people from one county to another and the mounting of billboards with campaign messages by politicians. Bong County was reportedly one of the counties at the center of trucking. Augustine Zabe is the principal of the Tototas E.J. Nyanse High School. He told our contributor Orlando Kollie that there were visible signs of trucking, which he thinks completely undermines the democratic process.
From the day the registration started, we saw the influx of strange persons. Most of these persons were brought here by individuals. Those individuals would then have the financial wherewithal to bring them back to do the check on the authentication of their ID card. So that is also going to hinder the process. Here at E.J. Nyanse, I can see that there are many persons here that we know. You know them, I know them from Totota. We know too that some of our citizens are elsewhere, but most of those that came are not from here. So coming back again to make sure that they check on their ID cards to see whether those are correct or not is going to be a problem. That also is going to be a problem to the
What
entire
danger does
process.
it pose to the process?
It means that they may encounter problems during the electoral process, during the voting process, number one. Many persons might not come back again to vote. So I think those are key issues that have to be
Do you
considered.
think it's time for us to do more civic education to tell the political parties, some of whom brought these people across the county so that they may should go back to avoid conflict? Because if the individuals don't come back, they turn out to the EJ precinct, looting other places. Probably they'll feel that NEC want to cheat them, considering they have a card, but probably
That is one problem is going to put. Well, the fact is that this education should have been done earlier, because those who are even the lawmakers are the lawbreakers. They truck these persons and bring them in our midst. And some of us, we are even afraid to tell them that you are not a Liberian or you don't belong here. So maybe that there could be conflict, because people who even expect to win, they may not win, because from your campaign, you know that you already mobilized the people in the district. But to your utmost surprise, you will see that those who make the decisions are not those that were resident in this place. So it's going to cause a problem to us.
So what message can we send?
Message that should be common to us all. We have come a long way. Liberia has come a long way. It is time for the citizens themselves to take decisions as to who gets registered within a particular precinct or who does not. Because like for Tototai, it's a very narrow place here that we can all be able to identify one another. But there are people, strange persons that came all over the place and were registering, and nobody did anything about it. So the decision-making process lies in our hands. If we allow people to manipulate us, it's going to affect us.
Augustine Zabi is the principal of Tototai's EJ High School in Bon County. So what the National Elections Commission has to say about these reported elections violations, here is Director Brown Lassana again.
As per the earlier pronouncement, the Commission reiterates that documentation of violations of the campaign regulations is ongoing since the 5th of May 2023. The Commission also notes that since the issuance of the 15 May 2023 ultimatum for would-be aspirants to remove or take down the paraphernalia, the Commission, in monitoring, observed that in many of the 15 counties, this ultimatum is unheeded. The Commission notes that it will apply appropriate measures to these violations. The Commission reminds all aspirants that the campaign period runs from 5th August 2023 to the 8th of October 2023. In closing, the Commission again thanks and assures all Liberians, all stakeholders, and electoral actors that the NEC will continue to work with you to the successful conclusion of the 2023 electoral process.
With the BVR process officially over and with no plan of extending the time, given the delay caused by faulty BVR machines, as asked for by civil society organizations, those who participated in the process will have to wait for the exhibition time to know whether their names are in the system to participate in the October's election. So when will the exhibition begin? Madam Lassana explains.
The National Elections Commission is pleased to inform Liberians and all stakeholders that, as per the electoral calendar, the exhibition of the provisional registration roll will begin on 12 June and will end on 17 June 2023, with no extension. During this period, all 2080 registration centers will become exhibition centers and will be open simultaneously across the country from 8 in the morning to 5 p.m. daily. The National Elections Commission encourages registrants to visit the centers where they registered. The exhibition is to give registrants the opportunity to reaffirm their registration details, request corrections where necessary, and object to inclusion of persons on the final registration roll. To ensure that only eligible voters remain on the voters' roll, it is important that the public bring forward all concerns during the exhibition period. Registrants appearing at the exhibition centers will be informed about the next procedure regarding their any queries. The exhibition process is also intended for Liberians to vet a provisional role and, where necessary, object with proof to persons they believe are ineligible to be on the voters' roll. The NEC encourages all registrants to visit the registration centers where they were registered to verify their information, as this will also help ensure accuracy, transparency, inclusiveness, and integrity of the voters' roll.
If you are just joining us, you are listening to Elections Today, a 30-minute package that seeks to update you about activities leading to the October 10 elections. It's brought to you by the Association of Liberia Community Radio, ALICOR. I'm your presenter, Edward Kollie. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this break.
Dissemination lab. Dissemination lab. Community Radio, ALICOR, launching national information, dissemination. Liberia, la sopo ALICOR. Community Radio, ALICOR, launching national information, dissemination. Dissemination lab.
Elections activities are long-running events ranging from voter registration to the registration of candidates, qualification of candidates, campaign, and the actual voting process. As the BVR comes to an end, the registration of candidates is next on the election events. Madam Devietta Brown-Lassana provides the timetable for this event.
Distinguished stakeholders, the NEC also uses this opportunity to inform political parties, coalitions, alliances, and independent aspirants that, based on the electoral timeline, the nomination of candidates for the 10th October 2023 general elections will begin on the 14th of June 2023 and will end at 5 p.m. on the 14th of July 2023 with no extension. All political parties, coalitions, alliances, and independent aspirants are advised to take advantage of this 1 month period to complete their nomination process. The Commission extends thanks and appreciation to all Liberians, the Ministry of Justice and Security apparatus, and our partners, national, regional, and international, temporary and permanent staff of the National Elections Commission, for their enthusiastic participation and assistance in the conduct of the biometric voter registration in Liberia.
National Elections Commission Chairperson Devietta Brown-Lassana. Liberia's civil society organizations have largely been engaged with the electoral process. They have been tracking the activities of the National Elections Commission and have particularly followed the conduct of the biometric voters registration process. Oscar Blow is head of one of the country's largest elections monitoring groups, the Elections Coordinating Committee, ECC. Blow has been providing his group observation on phase 2 of the biometric voters registration process.
The Elections Coordinating Committee ECC observed that there was significant improvement in the conduct of phase 2 of the biometric voter registration process in 9 counties across Liberia. At the same time, the process experienced challenges, including equipment failure, shortage of cards, and the failure to complete the rejection forms for those who were turned down during the registration process. Observers reported that NEC registration staff were more consistent in the application of the eligibility requirements before registered applicants. 193 of 220 registration centers observed open on time, with only 26 of these centers opening late. ECC observed that late opening of centers was due to the lack of ink on the printer, shortage of cards, or the lack of electricity to power the equipment. Nimba and Lofa counties were seen to have the highest number of centers that opened late. 219 of 220 centers had complete BVR kit present at opening with all the necessary forms, including rejection and complaint forms, and ledger for recording the names of successful applicants. ECC observers reported closing of the registration centers generally by 5:30 p.m. However, in the small corresponding of these centers, applicants in line by 5 p.m. were not allowed. Voter trucking. Like phase 1, the BVR phase 2 was characterized by voter trucking in Bong, Lofa, Nimba, and Grand Prix counties in contravention of section 10.1 of the new elections law of Liberia. Reports of golden age registration. During the BVR phase 2, ECC received reports involving 180 registration. While incidents of opponent registration were verified and confirmed in Grand Cru, the ECC observer in Lofa reported that the allegations were untrue. Recommendation: the ECC proposes the final recommendations for consideration. 1. In order to increase transparency, ECC calls on the NEC to invite representatives from political parties and national and international observation groups to observe the downloading of data in the deduplication process. That the NEC undertakes the public outreach to create an awareness on the exhibition process that is about to begin. Lastly, to the NEC, that the NEC is encouraged, as in phase 1, to release phase 2 results disaggregated by electoral districts and gender. Political parties and aspirants are advised to file formal complaints with the NEC if they have concerns about the process or the outcome of phase 2 of the BVR exercise. And finally, to the general public, that all registered voters should take advantage of the exhibition exercise, which is set for June 12 to the 17th, to verify the information on the poll.
Oscar Blow is head of the Elections Coordinating Committee. As prescribed by law, the tenure for president, vice president, representatives and 15 of the 30 senators will expire this year. The country, therefore, needs to conduct fresh elections, and that will be in October of this year. The elections body, called the National Elections Commission, has now issued the rate of elections to 19 magistrates across Liberia to conduct the election for president and vice president, 73 representative seats, and 15 senatorial seats. Here is National Elections Commission Clerk of Rate, Amos Kamara, issuing the rate to the 19 magistrates as mandated by National Elections Commission Chairperson David Brown Lassana.
Warehouse. I have been mandated by the Board of Commissioners through the chairperson to inform you that pursuant to Articles 45, 48, and 50 of the 1986 Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, vacancy will be created in the offices of the President, Vice President, the 73 seats in the House of Representatives, and 15 seats in the Senate of the 54 National Legislature due to the expiration of their respective terms. Warehouse. 2023 is an election year, and the National Election Commission is empowered to conduct all elections for elected public offices and declare the results thereof. And Warehouse, the last day for nomination of aspirants by registered political parties, coalitions, alliances, and independent aspirants concerning the said 2023 general elections shall be the 14th day of July, AD 2023 at 5 o'clock post-meridian. Now and therefore, I do command each of you to conduct the 2023 general elections for the offices of President, Vice President, and for the specific seats in the House of Representatives and the Senate in your respective areas of assignment on the 10th day of October, AD 2023, from the hours of 8 o'clock ante-meridian to 6 o'clock post-meridian. You are hereby further commanded to certify to me by endorsement upon the said rate at the close of the counting of votes as to the form and manner in which you conducted the said elections, the said general elections, and the result thereof. And for so doing, this shall constitute your legal and sufficient authority. Giving honor my hand is sealed of the National Elections Commission of the Republic of Liberia, this 30th day of May, AD 2023.
Amos Kamara is the National Elections Commission Clerk of Rate. Well, although the headquarters of the National Elections Commission is in Monrovia, where the administrative work is largely done, the operations of the magistrates in different parts of the country are very crucial to the successful conduct of the elections. And it seems that the magistrates are having a full appreciation of the task at hand as they have committed themselves to the conduct of free, fair, and transparent elections.
My name is Honoria Iseri, Elections Magistrate, Maryland County.
I'm Magistrate Gomba Blackie Craft from Monrovia. I'm committed to conducting free, fair, and transparent elections.
I'm Magistrate Luther K. Dane of Bomi County, and I commit myself to conducting free and fair, transparent elections.
I'm Magistrate Zopio Santo Lepo of Lower Nima County. I also commit myself in conducting transparent, free, and fair elections.
I'm Rebecca Robert Andrew of Lower Lofa County. May I use this forum to commit myself to conducting free, fair, credible election.
I'm David A. Lungu, Election Magistrate of Tambasa County. I commit myself for conducting free, fair, and transparent election.
I'm Moses G. Inanto, Senior Election Magistrate of Rebecca County. I commit myself to conduct free, fair election.
My name is Stanislaus Limner Wisek, Senior Election Magistrate of Grand School. I do hereby reveal to the Commission that I will do everything in my power to conduct free, fair, and transparent elections.
I am James K. Porter from Mosara County. I'm willing myself to the processes.
I'm Dana G. Newland, Election Magistrate Apopon. I'm committed to conducting transparent and credible elections in my area of high timing.
I am Fudonti Miyake of Magibi. Upon the receipt of this rate, I commit myself to conducting free, fair, and transparent election.
I am Solomon G. Jaine, Senior Elections Magistrate, Sino County. I commit myself to conducting free, fair, and transparent elections.
I am Magistrate Archie Williams of Riverside. I commit myself to conducting a free, fair, credible, and transparent election in Liberia.
I am Milton G. P.A., the Elections Magistrate, Upper Member. I commit myself to conducting free, fair, and credible elections for the 2023 election.
My name is Joseph Molekia Senior, Elections Magistrate, Grand Cape County, and I do hereby commit myself to conduct free, fair, and transparent elections in Liberia.
And my name is Avopia S. Bungalow,
Elections Magistrate, Lower Montserrado County. I'm committed to conducting free, fair, transparent elections in Liberia. Thank you.
My name is Ernest K. McKay Sr. I do hereby commit myself to conducting free, fair, transparent, and credible elections. So help me God. Bakuru County.
I'm Alfred Olitupa. As the election management team in Grandview, we commit ourselves to conduct free, fair, and credible election in Grandview County.
All right, my name is Albert Fopaye Smith, the elections magistrate for Upper Lofa. I hereby commit myself to conducting free, fair, credible, and transparent elections in my area of jurisdiction.
Liberia elections magistrates committing themselves to the conduct of free, fair, and transparent elections. Well, on that note, we have come to the end of this edition of Elections Today. Elections Today is a 30-minute package intended to update you on the activities of the 2023 national elections in Liberia. It is brought to you by the Association of Liberia Community Radio, ALICO. I have been your presenter, Edward Kollie. Until we meet again, have a pleasant day.